but unfortunately Maya is not coming. So Sharon, Nikki, and Nina, please join me on stage here. Ladies, we'll listen to this one for the last session of the day, and then definitely we need you for a group picture for everybody. So, Sharon, would you start?
Yeah, we're doing it together.
You do it together? There you go, ladies. You have also 2 mics. Oh. Whatever you want to.
What do you want to do?
I've got the mic.
Oh no. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Because I tend to walk around quite a lot. So
I tend to walk around too.
I'll just grab that. Can everyone hear okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we doing then?
I don't know. What do you want to do, mate? So if you hadn't noticed already, Nikki Marshall and myself, Sharon Critchlow, are a bit of a double act. We've got a company called Discover Your Bounce. Actually, we've got a couple of companies. We've got a company that deals with personal development. We've got a company that does workplace wellbeing.
Yeah.
And we've got a publishing company, which was a surprise to both of us. So there you go.
So long story short, I love writing books, and when I was 10, I won a poetry competition, and I think I blame my mother. But I started writing books for myself, and then in 2015, I collated a group of ladies and men to write their stories of bouncing back, because I think people are amazing. We've heard today some incredible stories about people. And if you give people the right tools and the opportunity, they can create these amazing lives. So I created this book, and I was looking for authors. And I'd met Sharon at an event a few years before, and said, would you write your story? And so Sharon became an author in that book. The book went to international bestseller on Amazon, which was just like Christmas. Can you imagine? It was just going up through the charts. We got to number 3, but we were in the top 100, so that's bestseller, that counts. And then we started talking together, and actually, as my business changed, so Sharon's lifestyle changed. She sold her shares in the business that she was in, and I said, could you just come and help me for a little bit? We've now got 3 companies, and it's a full-time job, and she hates me.
No, well, what actually happened, and to take it back to some of the title here, it says about values, and I was sat there on the day that we released this book, and I'm watching it on my iPad, refreshing it, and I'm watching it go up the charts, and my business partner came in, and he said, or something like that. I really didn't care, quite frankly, by that stage. Whatever it was, I think I'd heard it 10 times before, and none of it was relevant, so I thought, do you know what? I want more of this and less of that, quite frankly. And so I decided, it took me 12 months, but I thought, right, I'm going to get things in place. I'm leaving this business. I'm going to sell my shares. I'm going to go do something different. I didn't know I'd be doing this, to be fair. And then Nikki, being Nikki, had said, well, you've got a bit of time on your hands there, mate. Do you want to come be my non-exec? And I thought, oh, that'll be easy. So next thing I know, I've got a mic in my hand and I'm on a stage. Now, believe me, I'm an accountant. This is not a natural habitat.
Should we go on to the slides?
I think so. I think so.
So, let's have another one. Let's have. Who's heard of SMART goals? You know, the whole, when you go to leadership, when in accountancy training, we're all taught, because I'm an ex-converted accountant.
Recovering accountant.
We're all taught about SMART goals. But actually, we want to talk about heart goals today.
And I think there's a very important thing, global movement behind this as well. Because SMART goals, the whole point of it is that it's measurable and that you're going to write it all down and it's all going to be what it's going to follow a plan and everything else. But the reality is that whether you look at the global crisis in economics across various countries, whether you look at our environmental situation, I don't know, but I think the plan might have to change. And it might have to change pretty quickly. And we may not actually, and this is me as an accountant saying this, we may not be able to weigh and measure what the outcome's going to look like. We might just have to go with it.
And also, who has ever done like a business accelerator for their business or got a business coach? And we're all told about the driven entrepreneur. Well, before I met Sharon, we were in this business accelerator scheme, and it was run by one of the British banks. And it was all about working hard and striving. And 2 or 3 months in, everyone got sick. People were getting lung infections, they were getting sore throats that wouldn't go away. And if you think about our voice and our authentic voice, they just couldn't speak up. And so I said I was going to leave and go and work in Tesco's. And then Sharon said, no, let's have a plan.
So I said, let's go to France. So I went to France for the month, because that's the sort of thing that I do. And I said, come over, it'd be great fun. And from that, we decided actually that all of these bits of paper that they were having to produce was all very good. It's all very valid. It's not business though, is it? You don't, if you want to explain to somebody what your business is, you don't get out your health and safety policy. You actually explain to them what the purpose is. You actually get a bit enthusiastic about it. And actually, what this accelerator program had done is it accelerated the paperwork and everything else was lost. So I thought, we can't have that.
So what we would suggest is actually you think about your business idea, or you go back, if you've been in business a few years, you go back to that business idea and you place your hand on your heart and you go, why did I set out to do this? And as I do this, I had a stroke 10 years ago through stress, and I recovered. And I felt very honoured that actually I made that recovery. So I learnt to use my left hand again, I learnt to remember things again. But actually, I realised that I wanted to make a difference. And I ran around trying to help everyone all the time for a while. That didn't go so well. So then I realised that I wanted to make a difference to my life and to me and to my health. And then to the people around, to my family, to my friends, to everyone in our business that comes into contact. We call them team banks. So from our suppliers that supply our leaflets right through to our employees, to everyone we work with, they're part of team banks. So, because if you always know why you're doing what you're doing, then on your toughest, crappiest day when everything's gone wrong and it's 10 to 5 and you've still got a list to do, or it's the day after Christmas and you've still got to go back to whatever that deadline was, if you know your why, you will always just pull it out of the bag and go, yeah, tomorrow will be another day, and you remember that thing. So heartfelt is the thing. The other thing is emotion. I'm
off again. I'm off again. So the other thing I would say about that is, when you look at the wider situation in the world, and you look at millennials and millennial behaviour, that's the only thing they're interested in. They just want to know why. They want to be making an impact. And if you've lost it in your head as to why you're doing it, then you've got no hope of keeping them. And we see so many youngsters who go, did this job for 3 months and that job for 6 months, and they're just looking for a purpose. And so if you know what your purpose is, you will attract them. And if you don't, you will repel them.
Which leads me nicely onto the next point, is actually emotional. So when we're really stressed, there was a group I was looking at yesterday, and someone was saying, I just get so angry these days and I don't know why. And it's like, well, emotions are good in business, and if you are passionate and you know why you're doing something, you will have emotions. But actually, a lot of the stuff we talked with, we've worked with companies over the last 2 years, spoke to nearly 2,000 employees, and we've all said it's about having the right conversations. So emotional intelligence is something that we come into contact with a lot, and actually being able to communicate in the right way and to be able to use language that doesn't have a bias. It's not about, I want this, therefore this has to happen. It's about how can we work together to create whatever it is we're creating. And so if you are emotional, but you can voice that emotion, then your business will actually move forward in a lot quicker way. And you'll find, like you say, particularly young people, or you'll find people that want to help you with your mission. And that's what we found through what we do. Absolutely. Anything you want to add on EQ?
Oh, EQ's my subject. If you see me on LinkedIn, I could be here all day, and I got a microphone there. So what can I say? I could literally be here all day, but I will say is that I think now is the time for women to step forward, because we've got a much better handle on being able to describe our emotions, and being able to identify and describe your emotion is actually the start of a higher EQ level. And the more EQ we have, the better control we have over the situation, the more likely we are to get the result we really want. So if you're sitting there at some point and you're tearing your hair out, then try and describe that a bit better to yourself. Is it frustration? Is it panic? Is it worry? What is it? Because the moment you can define that, you win.
Which leads me nicely on to my next. The other thing is, it's okay to have a bad day. I don't know about you, when I grew up, particularly when I was in my teens, I dyed my hair black, I wore a lot of black makeup, and I walked around sort of thinking everything, the world owed me and everything was bad. And my mum always said to me, oh, there's always someone worse off than you. And she was absolutely right, she's a wonderful lady. But in my 20s, when my husband didn't want my second child, there was still someone worse off than me, but at that point I was having a really tough time. And I kept trying to be shiny and trying to go, oh no, it's okay, I'm fine. And there's a phrase that we use in the UK, the fine is effed up. I won't say the word because we're in company and my mum, effed up, insecure, neurotic and exhausted. So if you hear people tell you they're fine, actually maybe it's okay for them not to be. And with the mental health challenges that we have right now, it's okay to have that bad day, as long as you know that why, and you give yourself a bad day, you eat all the chocolate that lovely lady had earlier on, and you maybe get your slippers out and have a really good DVD day, and then the next day you get up with your why and you start again. So authenticity is absolutely massive, and it allows us to just be who we are, be human.
I also think that we think we hide it well, and apparently we don't. So in my previous business, I am a caring, sharing Buddhist. In my previous business, I was an operations and compliance director, and I had to absolutely lay the law down. It's a financial services company. We had a lot of compliance regulation. And I said no more than I said anything else, until somebody was having a crisis, and it didn't have to be about work, it could be about anything. And then the real me came out. When I came out of that business, and I moved into this business, which is obviously very different on the face of it, I thought, people are going to think that's a bit weird. No, everyone who's ever worked for me said, yeah, that's you though, isn't it? So I thought I'd hidden it really well. I was rubbish at it, turns out. So if you're not authentic, people see right through it anyway, so you may as well just be you.
That's very true. Which leads us to realistic. So, we've heard about be real with your goals, keeping things real. But actually, if you are really authentic with who you are, reality means synchronicity. All these synchronicities happen. You meet the right people. You come to an event like this and you have conversations with the 2 or 3 amazing people. I went to Women Economic Forum in New Delhi, and there were 1,700 women. And the first day I'm running around trying to network with everybody. You've got business cards flying and you're trying to do everything. And then you actually get exhausted and you go to the coffee shop and you have a coffee and you meet that one person that becomes your friend for life, So actually, if you know where you are, those realistic things will happen. The universe will just deliver the right people at the right time, or you'll learn the right thing, or you'll say no to the wrong thing, just all at the right time. So realistic can actually stop you getting exhausted and stop that overwhelm.
It's another way of saying being present. Actually being here, not sitting as I have done in so many seminars, going, I wonder what we're having for tea, or wonder what, must remember to do that, or must remember to do this, and my bunions are in, and everything else. It's actually, when we talk about being realistic as well, it's about being here now.
Which leads me on. She's good at this. Anyone think she'd seen this presentation?
I did the slides. It's not a surprise to me, it's a surprise to her. The dream team. So you do have to be present, but also you have to allow some time to pass. So if you've created a goal, sometimes we go to a business planning session, or we take ourselves off to a beach and we have our journal and we write all this amazing stuff, and we go home and we go, right, I'm ready, and nothing happens. And then the next day we go, that didn't work, and we're really busy. Whereas actually, if you've
put down your goals and you're really clear, you need to give some time to pass, but you also need to keep with that belief and talk as if it's happening. You know, we used to say, well, one day we'll do this, and when we have stuff, and when we travel the globe, and when our book gets to bestseller, and when, you know, and we just kept talking as if it was always going to happen. And every Christmas for the last 3 years, we've sat down and gone, well, that happened. Well, that was a bit weird, wasn't it? But it wasn't weird at all, because we did write it down, and we do keep doing the things that we said we would do, and we don't change. Yeah, I do lots of networking in Bristol, and every now and then someone will come, this is my new business, I'm part of this new network marketing thing, and it's going to be awesome. And then 2 weeks later, they're part of a different network marketing business, and it's going to be awesome. Or they've got involved in something else. You know, you have to allow a bit of time, but time when you're doing the right things. So that's kind of what leads us into like mission and vision.
I think so, because of course time can work the other way as well. So you think you've got it all planned out, and you go, right. So I'm going to let you into a little secret, and I haven't told her, I'm going to tell you this. So we've got another book out, and it's called The Bounce Back Journey. And we've got it all ready. We've had to delay launching it because we're here. So we're launching it next Wednesday. But we've had to put the pre-orders for the Kindle up now, because it takes several days for it to register. And I looked at it last night, and what we've told all the other authors, because we've got 24 people to write into this book with their personal stories, their inspiring stories, and we've told all of them, right, next Wednesday, you've got to get it out there, you've got to tell all your friends, your family, if anyone's going to buy it, we need a 48-hour window if we want to get it anywhere in the Amazon charts. We got Amazon bestseller last night. So just when you think it's going to take you several weeks, you're going to have to do all this stuff. Sometimes it just lines up and it happens anyway.
So does that mean I can have Wednesday off now?
No.
So a big party tonight, huh?
We could do a bit of dancing tonight, couldn't we? We could.
There is a band coming, so I'm pretty sure you can do some dance.
So Petra, how long do we have? 5 minutes? Okay, because what we thought we'd end with is if you have, who here has some goals or some things they want to happen this year? Anyone? Cool. So what we'd like to do is when you've got your vision and your values and you know what you want to do, how do you actually make that happen? And so we're taking one of the coaching techniques, and I've realised I'm not doing these slides very well, am I? Oh, there we go. I'll do a discussion. So what we'll do is just think about, first of all, what is your goal? So think about that goal in your business, or think about that goal for the future business. I know there are people here that maybe are working for someone else and actually want to create that business in the future. So think about that business and think about your why and the difference you want to make and how you want it to fit in with your life and the things you value, whether that's family or traveling or whatever it is for you. And so just get really clear on what that goal is. Don't specify it down to the last detail, but just know what you're going to be doing. You know, are you going to be traveling? Are you going to be working with lots of people? Will you have an office? Or actually, one of our major goals is to not have an office. And every now and then, there's a bit of me that goes, oh, but we need an office. And then Sharon's like, well, we have an office. It's called the beach. It's called by a river. It's called wherever. Because we deliver to companies. We may never be in the same place week by week. So, but you're kind of told that you should. And that's the other one, isn't it? The shoulds.
Oh, you don't ever should. People go out shoulding themselves to death. I should be going to the gym. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. No. Just stand there and be. It's perfect. I give you permission. I'll be writing out permission slips later for you to do what the hell you want.
Brilliant. If you write any for my children, you're in trouble. So that's goal. Get really clear on your goal. And then look at your reality. So your reality, we talked about being authentic. Where are you today? You may not be in the place that you really want to be. Sometimes you look at it and you go, it's not working, or it's not working fast enough, or it's not working the way I thought it was. But know where your reality is. Know where the goal is and where the reality is. And then start looking at your options. What could you do? I think we've got a slide here somewhere. What's your goal? What's your reality? And what could you do? So with the options, went too far. What could you do? Because some of the things, you could stop your business. You could close your business. I could magically be working in Tesco right now. It could have happened. So what could you do? Could you find a partner and amongst all these ladies here today that is maybe on a similar mission to you? Could you do that? Could you learn something new? Could you go and talk to someone that's already doing? You know, I used to do lots of research. They say, you know, you're similar to the 5 people you hang around with. So I found 5 people that I loved what they did and sort of hung around with them for a while. And this lady here was one of them, which is quite cool. But look at what they do and how they think and the choices they make. Look at your options and just don't take anything as wrong. Just go, I could do that. You might not in reality, but you could. So just really that blue sky thinking, what could you do?
And actually, you could also say, what are your opportunities? And start talking to people about what you really want, because they might give you an opportunity that you go, do you know what, I didn't see that. I didn't see that as an option. But if you're clear about what you want, then why not share it? You know, use the collective brain to actually come up with something for you and be open to those opportunities.
And then lastly, we would just ask you, what will you do? Because if you do nothing, you've still chosen. It's still a choice. And someone told me that, I was like, oh. Because I think yes and no is choices, but to do nothing's still a choice. So if to do nothing's still a choice, you may as well make it count. So some of our friends, when we came here, Slovenia, that's a long way. Is it? Apparently so. But I was in Bristol yesterday, and anyway. But what will you do? You know, choose something, make it happen, or say no to something that's driving you crazy, and trust that the right thing will come in. But do something. You know, do something with that choice. We've all got the same 86,400 seconds or whatever it is a day, and some people seem to get everything done in those seconds, and some days I look around and I'm like, I've lost 50,000 of them already. How did that happen?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, we're usually scrolling the bestseller charts on Amazon to see what happens. So what will you do? And actually just choose one thing. And the last thing, today is your day. So thank you very much for spending that bit of day with us. And if you want to know a little bit more about what we do, or talk to us about books and writing your dreams or anything like that, then we'll be hanging around at the end, and we'll be dancing this evening because we now have a bestseller. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Sharon. Let's not... Okay. I expect you to be the first one on the dance floor tonight. Don't let me down. You should. You said before you should know, but you should. Last one for today is Nina. Yay!
Well, I have a presentation, but I don't have a presentation.
You have us.
Yes.
Wait. You want this for your background,
Yes,
or you want
please.
something else?
No, this is
Whatever you want, you can choose today.
This is perfect. I will use this mic, hopefully, or whatever.
Just don't sing tonight with this one.
Not yet.
After
I will sing while the ladies will dance. Thank you, ladies. They were like dynamic duo. So, I don't run 3 companies or 4 or how many. I run just one. I actually run one CRM agency. We perform CRM campaigns and implement CRM strategies. So actually we sell service, and the service is done by the employees, obviously. So basically, like the title says, my employees are really the core pillar of my successful company. So, the essential ingredient of achieving employees' engagement is actually carrying relationships. And CRM is actually all about the relationship. So I should know what the relationship should be. But when dealing with employees, I'm not so confident, like with customers and clients and so on. So the employees are a bit tricky. For me, it's quite a challenge. We have only 15 employees. We are a small company. All the 15 employees, they are of different profile, different working background. So they are really like 15 different individuals who are triggered to different reactions. So everybody are themselves. So we don't have, like in CRM or digital, we don't have audiences or target groups or segments. Actually, we have 15 target groups, and all the target groups, we cannot calculate or predict how will they react. I have to know them. I have to have a bond with them. I have to talk to them. I have to be human with them, so they won't be berserk and call me that I'm a monster or a dragon lady. The real challenge for me as an employer is really to ensure that my employees are passionate about their work, about their jobs, and that they come to the office every day enthusiastic and eager to start their work. Yeah, it's a challenge. Usually this challenge is done by the HR personnel. I don't have an HR person, so this is me. Everything is done by me. So when I started the company, I didn't have a clue about HR and how to deal with employees, how to engage them to be more productive, more enthusiastic to do their job. So I had to learn the methods, the ways, activities, ideas, how to engage my employees. And I Googled, of course. And the Google said, so you have to defer. Well, it's the easiest way, you know. So the Google said, you have to defer between the employee's engagement and the employee's commitment. So the engagement is actually best seen in a form of passion, like passion in sports, passion for books, and so on. And with when we have a committed employee, it's actually when they feel they fit in the organization, they support your objectives, they really feel you. And when you have this combination of this passion and of this fitting in, this belonging, you have an unbeatable combination, and it results to retention and loyalty. And this is what we employers really want. So the loyal employees, yes, they will sign up for their lifetime to be yours and do whatever you say they will do. So, yeah, but how to do that? I don't know. I took this, I know CRM, so I know the relationship with customers, how to put the CTA to a banner, or which kind of wording and stuff like that. I know that in CRM, what works is personalization and custom tailoring, tailor-made versioning, and stuff like that. And how can I put this in human resources, in my employees? So I was thinking, I have to find a way, a method, that could be tailored to the unique need and motivation of every my employee. So I have to talk and to understand and to care and to know them, to know that they will have to know that I feel about them, so I care about them. I understand them, or at least I try to understand them. So this is what I wanted to make. And it was not as easy as I wanted to do. So this relationship I wanted to build was that the first thing I did is I did employed some kind of a open door policy. So I let them know that I will be there for them. They can come to me for help, for feedback, for whatever they need. They can come to me whenever they want. So my doors to the office were practically always open. It was really exhausting because everybody was in my office all the time. So open door office, but on the other case, they knew that I'm there for them. So it paid me off. And another thing that really paid off for me was also that I listened to them. So I listened to their feedback, to their ideas. They could communicate to me openly. So this really leveled up the commitment, not the engagement, but the commitment to my company. Team buildings were one of the things that really was building a bond with them or the relationship. But the team buildings, we cannot exaggerate with the team buildings. We cannot exaggerate with the activities or the duration of the team building, the location. We have to be careful that if we have a vegan within the company or the pregnant woman or whatever, we cannot do, I don't know, skiing or grilling or stuff like that. So we have to be careful about the activities. What we did, and this was pointed out by my employees that it was really, really important for them, was weekly gatherings. So we employed Friday lunch breaks. We all order out. So we have lunches together, we have fun together, so we break up the routine and we enjoy ourselves talking about the weekend and stuff like that. Today I'm not there for them, but the other employees, they never miss it. So actually it's for me, it's really hard to engage all the people all the time at the right time on the same level. Actually you have to find a way for each and every individual. The workload is different. You have to talk to them all the time, and for us like employees, it's really, really exhausting. So I think that also the employees need to know that we are only human beings and we can have bad days and we can have really, I don't know, we have to have breaks. We have to not that we just say thank you to everybody that, okay, this is a really good job that you did. Nobody thanks me. Nobody says, oh, you did a really good job. I need that too. Somebody needs to...
You did very well.
Oh, thank you. No, but yeah, so...
Now she's confused.
Yeah, I'm really confused. I didn't expect that. I'm not used to that. So what I wanted to say is that employees engagement it's a hard job, and it's It's a job that you have to do every day, all day long, and you have to just think, to really be creative sometimes, you have to have this relationship, open, sincere relationship with your co-workers, with your employees. Otherwise, it really doesn't work. So, yeah, for me, my employees are the success. Actually, the success of my company depends on my employees. So, without them, I don't think the companies exist. So they are the mirror of our companies. Thank you.
She did really well. And on time.
I was doing that.
So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
I would never imagine that would be so much on time. Wow, mind-blowing. Shall we do a group photo before we leave? And please don't forget to party with us tonight. So at 8, we have the gala dinner and the award ceremony, and we have a really, really, really nice band to keep up with all our energy. And by the way, they're guys, so won't be alone with the ladies. So come up here, have a photo. Eno skupno. Come, ladies.